This video is on parallelograms. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral that has both pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other. Let's take a look at this figure here. So here we have parallelogram ABCD, and it's marked that side AB is parallel to CD. That's why each of those has the two little pink triangles on it. And side AD is parallel to side BC. This is what's considered the definition of a parallelogram, a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other. There are many other properties of parallelograms. Let's go through them. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So here in parallelogram JKLM, JK is congruent to LM, JM is congruent to KL. So both pairs of opposite sides are congruent to each other. Also, both pairs of opposite angles are congruent to each other. In parallelogram JKLM, angle J is congruent to angle L, angle K is congruent to angle M. Consecutive angles are supplementary. Remember, the consecutive means right next to each other. So that means that the measure of angle J plus the measure of angle K is going to equal 180. Measure of angle K plus measure of angle L equals 180. Measure of angle L plus the measure of angle M equals 180, and the measure of angle M plus the measure of angle J equals 180. Consecutive angles are supplementary. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. That means that they cut each other in half. So here we have parallelogram ABCD with diagonals AC and BD, and diagonal AC cuts diagonal BD in half. So BE is the same length as ED, and AE is the same length as EC. In a parallelogram, a diagonal creates two congruent triangles. So here we have diagonal BD, and it creates two triangles, triangle ABD, which is congruent to triangle CDB. And in a parallelogram, one pair of opposite sides is both parallel and congruent to each other. So here in parallelogram ABCD, side AB is parallel to DC, and side AB is also congruent to DC. Now I'd like you to go back to the Unit 1 investigation and make sure that the statements that you filled in the blue box are all completed correctly. And as you do the Unit 1 practice exercises, be sure you refer to these theorems in the blue box. So in this video we took a look at parallelograms, what the definition of a parallelogram is, both pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other, and several theorems that talk about the characteristics of parallelograms.